Hey, so everyone, thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of the Legacy Brand Podcast. This specific subject, we're going to speak on some social injustice and what we feel like the dialogue difference between African American men and police officers. And of course, right now this would be a touchy subject to start, but we just feel like we need to come front and speak upon it and get some information out there to everyone that's involved, everyone being hurt by this, especially during these times right now. So to my left, I have Ken, the Black Agenda. To the right, I got Corey Blackwell. We all of us, just in general, are very spoken regarding things that are happening, and we're very strictly upon black businesses, black entrepreneurs, us being African American men, and what we can do to society and change the differences what's going on. So we're just gonna start and get this thing rolling, and that's gonna be a conversation between us, specifically to speak about what's going on.
Let's do it.
All right. So just to begin the episode, what we're gonna speak on right now is like, what do we personally feel like is the differences, the misinterpretation between African American men and police officers. I'm gonna start with you, Ken.
All right, the difference between African American men and police officers is, I think for the longest time, a lot of people not looking at history. I know you say we didn't want to really go into it, but we have to look at history, or we're gonna be doomed to repeat it.
Correct.
So we could go back to it's gonna be real quick and brief, but we could go back to the Black Panther movement. All right, because they were doing for self. That was a lot of their plans, but they got infiltrated by informants and the government. All right, and even Edgar J. Hoover, they made it, it's released, FBI documents said that they do not want a black messiah rising up. So literally, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, that Fred Hampton, he was only 21 years old, and they took him out because they seen that he was able to unite the white hillbillies, the Spanish thugs, and then the black people in the community, and they was feeding people. They started their own healthcare system. They basically birthed welfare as we know it today. Mm-hmm. So when you're doing something like that, it's a disconnect, because if you get too much control, people don't like that. The people that are higher up, because they're so used to, having a hand in everything. But if we able to eliminate that divisiveness and this white and black thing that's going on, we see white and black, so nobody can tell me they don't see color, because we all got real eyes. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's just we see what's going on. So you have to be intentional about how you move, intentional about your conversation, and intentional about how you operate within this this paradigm that we're in right now, because a lot of people are really just, they're not ignorant, or they either ignorant in the sense of they don't know what they don't know, so not in the way that they dumb or something.
Exactly. Ignorance means not knowing.
Right.
It don't necessarily mean you dumb.
Yeah, exactly. And I totally agree with that, because a lot of the times we sit here and we just create this own hell in our brain. And I've been having to tell people, bro, with this white and black thing, bro, if you want to be happy, you can choose to be happy. If we want to be united, we could choose to be united, because this thing that's right between our ears, bro, it's so powerful that people don't even understand it. And just to give one example before I pass the ball to you, bro, it's like this pad you got in front of you right here. It's like, bro, that was an idea in somebody's head, and they manifested it, bro. If we have this idea of unity and coming together and killing this shift and what's going on between the police and our black community right now, it'll definitely be a change. It's gonna take time, and it's gonna take real work and sacrifice, but that's what gotta happen, bro. Putting people to lay their life on the line.
Yeah.
So Corey, what you feel like is the biggest like difference between African Americans and the police officers?
And this is coming from a personal standpoint, right? Because that was the question. So me personally, to be honest, as you know, my own father is a retired PBSO employee. My father was a sheriff for 30 years, okay? And he served. And I know my father personally, as well as many other members of the police agency, with PBSO, West Palm Beach, Riviera Beach, you name it, I know people in it. And I also know that bad things do occur. So me personally, I feel like the misinterpretation is not the police to the African American man. I feel like it's the African American man to the police. And a lot of people gonna hear this right now and say, how can he say that? What? Yeah, like how? But you have to listen. When us as African American men, black men, when we look upon police in that uniform, we frown upon it. But that's because we're conditioned to frown upon what this stands for, because it's not necessarily the uniform that the man is wearing, it's the man inside the uniform.
Correct.
And so it is police brutality because they're using the badge, but it's really, like we say, it's white and it's black. And bottom line, we got to open our eyes and say, okay, you know, why haven't we ever been enough? We can go back to 1977, July 4th, Declaration of Independence. And in that, you found out that we meant nothing to this country, because when that was signed by 2 presidents and 3 government politicians, African Americans were still enslaved.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right?
Property.
We were still owned. We were still beaten. We were still controlled. But you wrote the Declaration of Independence to uphold the Constitution of America, but we weren't included in that.
Yeah.
And so when will we ever be free? And so I say that us as a community, we have to show that, like he said, we are powerful, and we have to use our minds and stop letting our conditions control us. We're letting our conditions control us. We have no jobs. You know why? Because if a person was to look at you and say, race doesn't matter, I gotta say, I'm sorry, man, I disagree. Because every job application you fill out, if race never mattered, that shouldn't be on the job application.
Affirmative action wouldn't exist either.
And when they play with you, they play with your intelligence, because they say, I choose not to answer. Well, once you check that, what does that tell that person looking at that job application? One, you're not white.
Because you would be proud.
Because you'll be proud to check that box.
Most definitely.
Now, 2, African American, now you're frowned upon. Now we got to look at this background check. Now we got to look at where this person came from. We got to run the credit report.
Yeah.
And so
that, like, just in general, like, I'm just reflect back on what you said, like, especially going into the job application aspect, that's why it's so important for us as African American men to own our shit. You know what I'm saying? To start something, right. Because when it comes to it, I say this all the time, and I mean, it's very, blunt, but a black man ain't shit if he don't own shit. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to have a seat.
Money run the world.
For sure. It's hard to have a seat at a table and enforce something if you don't own shit.
Right.
And I mean, and there's just going into the misinterpretation of between us and them is just like, I say that it's not all officers just in general.
No, not at all.
But it comes into the situation of upon it's like what we see a lot is the main officers that do the fuck this, we go shoot instead of tase and enforce the proper procedure are the main, the white people that don't got no trainer, they can't fight.
No, I agree with you, and I think that's another thing. So we talked about the ignorance as well. So on the flip side, we got to kind of pay attention to the education of the police officer, because like he was saying, the black man misunderstand the police officer. So I think it's to that point where on both sides there's ignorance being spewed, because all right, I don't want to understand you because you are trash. All right, talking to the black man, because that's how some people see it when they arrest people.
Right.
I don't want to understand you because you a hunky, you white,
right.
You the police, and I've been screaming fuck the police my whole life. So this is what I know. I saw you arrest my dad. I saw you body slam him. But
regardless of the fact that that's a good cop.
Regardless of the fact that's a good cop. And then now there is this whole misunderstanding that goes on for a generation. It just becomes this vicious cycle of hurt and pain, and the only thing is the energy that we putting out. That is what's hurting everybody.
Correct.
And then the education of the police officer, we have to understand that too. Now, when I was at FAU, we had a police officer come in and they showed us a video, bro, on how they get trained. And then they showed us one of the first videos they see, bro. Police officer literally walked up to the car, bro. He blew that man's head off, bro. Who they pulled over blew the police head off, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally people out there that's on that. You know what I'm saying? So they want to get home just like we do. So you have to understand the training that they seeing, and then you got people out here as well that want to die by a cop.
Right.
And they got suicide by a cop. A lot of people don't know that term.
Then you got to think, these guys doing the job, everybody say what when they looking at something, I would have. Oh, I could have.
Ooh,
When you in
I'm
the
gonna go
heat
in
of
after
that
you on that
moment,
one, bro.
when you in the
I'ma go
heat
in
of
on
that
that one.
moment and you got only seconds to think, I'm not saying, believe me when I tell you, I'm not saying that any of this is justified, because it's not.
At all.
But when you in the heat of that moment, you got seconds where your life depends on every decision you make. And so you gotta really, I see videos of, like he said, cops pulling you over because your tail light out. And this man walk up on your window and you giving him your ass to kiss.
For no reason, bro.
And
Pulling your camera out. Hey, what you doing?
You a straight asshole to this cop for what? And you have cops that do the same thing to civilians. So like he said, it's just a cycle.
And then with that, you were saying you was touching on dang, that shit just slipped my mind. But I was finna go into how the misunderstanding as well, but it's kind of evading me right now. What you was talking
We're gonna
about.
come back to you.
We're gonna come back to it because that thing had me fired up. Go ahead, bro.
All right, so look, let's switch to this. So speaking on what we think is the misinterpretation, what do you think led to the dialogue of them thinking that way? Of the officers that, specifically the officers that, fear us and just be like, fuck that, they finna shoot us for a simple situation that could have been changed if they were trained properly.
Oh, okay. So you just brought it back to me what I was gonna say. So talking about the training and stuff like that, bro, you got a training video you seeing that one of your fellow police officers' head getting blown off just walking up to the car, and it's something very simple, bro. That is scary.
Yeah.
Because you go into this, I got a funny story I'll tell. You go into this because you want to be a superhero, basically.
Most definitely.
Yeah. That's how you feel. I'm going to change my community. I'm going to be that change to the police officer, bro. But what one officer told me when I talked to him is that, and this come black and white police officer, and because I asked him a question, I was like a little younger. I was like, why you so fat? The cop. I was like, why y'all get so fat? I was like, y'all show me the old pictures, bro. Y'all be six-packed out, orange, big as hell. It's like, once you get out the academy, and whatnot, you still train. But here's like, what happened is, and they all was on the same accord with this questioning, just a different way, bro. They said, you go into this thinking you could save the world, bro, but then you realize how ignorant people in the world is. All right, and then it's like, that's when you get fat, because you just kind of relax and, just do your job at that point.
Yeah.
Well, definitely.
Do the bare minimum.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, just saying, you're reflecting on the videos that you see in training, I feel like the main difference, the dialogue, what led to it is, definitely social injustice. But, us as African American, men just in general, we respond a lot based on emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, we feel like trial. We go like, you got us fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we feel like that when it comes back to of course, what the world is based upon is education and laws. That's what they're gonna live by when it comes to it. And we don't have the certain laws or the education behind it. You know what I'm saying? And we can't, and we can't, control ourselves. Things. Of course, we're gonna react a certain way. But that dialogue difference is, we got videos that we put out, you know what I'm saying? Everything plays a part in this. We got rap videos we put out. You know what I'm saying? We got videos that occurred when the Black Panthers, we got videos before that. And of course we responded certain ways because we was done with the shit. We was fucked. They got us fucked up at this moment. But those videos that stay alive, stay open over time, those still on the internet. And just how they go home and how we watch videos and shit, I guarantee you they go home and watch videos. You know what I'm saying?
They go home and watch it.
And then I think that, plays a role in everything we put on social media, everything we got out there that they can view and see. You know what I'm saying? That plays a role into the dialogue. They parents, and of course, it don't matter what you said, white people do not feel as strong as us at any point in time. So any point in time of our frustration or what we respond on, they gonna react a certain type of way. Now, is it right that what they doing? Hell no, because outside of that, you know what I'm saying, it's dead wrong. I don't care what you say, but to a certain situation, me feeling like, man, dude, I don't feel like I should sell my soul towards a situation.
Right. To be real with you, to piggyback off what you're saying somewhat in that aspect, when you said, people say, fuck the police and this and that. That same person, let's just say, for example, that same person
write down this thought, because you got me.
That same person who walk out their house and say, fuck the police today, right? Let's say he's a father of a young daughter, right? And she's at school, right? And now you have this person that decides that, you know what, I'm finna walk into this middle school and I'm finna kill as many kids as I can.
True.
Right? Your daughter at school, you know nothing. You mind your own business going throughout your day. 911 gets a phone call. Man walking through the school with an AR-15 shooting kids. Who is it up to save your little girl?
Well, it's definitely officers.
So why is it fuck the police? So if they do their job right, you know, now we say sorry for the loss of so many others, but your daughter survived. Well, now thanks to that officer, thanks to that policeman doing his job, you get to see your baby girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so you shouldn't say fuck the police. You should sit back and say, what's wrong with the world?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with us as people?
The upbringing too.
You know what I'm saying? You say we act off emotions. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing depending on the emotion.
That's true. That's the main
because us acting off emotion got not just America, it got the world, bruh. This the first time in a long time we got the whole world moving with us, bruh.
Yeah.
Different nationalities. And why? It's because these protests. Because when Trayvon Martin got killed, we was mad. We was pissed off. We made videos and statuses, but we ain't protest.
We ain't know, and that's where a lot of the education comes behind it. We have a lot of education.
Hey, definitely, I'll get to protest in a minute, but you know, if you in on this conversation, I know it's some people that's probably still not on the same wavelength as far as what we're talking about with police, and probably think we sympathizing, which is not. It's just understanding. Because if you hate something and you fear it, you should be informed on it. Because a lot of people operate in fear nowadays, and when you operate in fear, you make irrational decisions, and that is something that's also been conditioned in a lot of people. All right. So, and then I wanted to talk about. I encourage you to go on YouTube later on after we get off this. If you haven't seen it, there's this video. Just type it on YouTube. Says probably type in like training news anchor on police training or something like that of that nature. Literally brought this news anchor that talked major crap about the police officers out to their training, bro. I kid you not, he was dead in 2 seconds. They put him in the training, put the gun in his hand, and they had they acting person and how they train, bro. And the dude was like, he was a good actor too. He's like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like he crazy. And he's like, you know what? Bam, got you. Just like that. He's like, I had no time to react, man. Like he was like, this is, you know what I'm saying? Just show him that. But then on the flip side of things, like he was talking about with people saying screaming F the police, that I get, you know what I'm saying? Because you might have that trauma. But bro, I saw something in my city on the video, bro, in Boynton Beach. I don't know who this police officer was, bro, but kudos to this man forever, and he probably gonna live a very long life, bro. This dude got shot. One of these dudes got shot in the yard, bro. This man got there and immediately start giving this man CPR, bro. I seen the life leaving this police officer eyes trying to pump this dude's chest, bro. And there's black people standing around him. You know what they doing, bro?
Recording, right?
They recording, bro. And then you trying to say F the police, bro. We gotta say F this mentality that we got about saying that, bro. Because if you have a F the for real way of thinking, if you got the F the mentality, you got to learn how to govern yourself then too, to the point where these people don't even have to infiltrate our neighborhoods if we hold each other accountable and to a standard. All right, because if we check in every damn drug dealer in the city, bro, and we governing them, I mean, everybody's their own person. But bro, if we have some type of governance on this, then we eliminate them coming into our neighborhoods and having to do that, bro.
And it goes all back into like just in general, like I feel like definitely what we feel like what's happening is that we have the wrong police officers in the wrong neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? And that plays a huge thing upon the information between us and what we can relate to. If we have the right officers within the right neighborhoods, you know, things will be a lot better because we can reach on common grounds. And it just come into the situation of like...
But they'll never show their superior what they really are, who they really are. Although their superior might be the same as them, they ain't gonna act all crazy in front of Sarge or Chief as they would when they out in their squad car.
Most definitely. Because when they by themselves, they responding towards a different reaction. And a lot what goes on, you know what I'm saying? A lot of it is wrong. We done been in a situation where we don't feel like, man, they, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? They trying us right now. They abusing their power. Yeah. And I think that's what happened a lot. A lot of individuals abuse their power, but I mean, just go back to it. Like, you got an officer that, don't got no background towards defending himself, but then he go to the police academy, become a police officer. Honestly, without that badge, what's gonna happen. He ain't really, that secure. But he don't got no competence.
He's never been put in a situation before in his life, man.
So everything that he feel like is a threat at this point, what I'm saying? If nobody follow the rules and regulations, he feel like it's a threat. And that's what happens between the most officers that we catch on video that's doing the crime to the the black folks, what I'm saying, and abusing their power. That's what happens a lot. So we just got like a lot of stuff that goes back to the politics and everything else that happens and that they in place that like this shit happens, what I'm saying?
No, for sure. I completely agree. And that also goes back to governing self and our neighborhoods as well. Now, it's not per se our neighborhoods, but we have to govern what we live at, all right? Because you are what you become what you submit to. So a lot of people have to recognize that if we're going to submit to these drug dealers just running amok on that side, do your business. But if you're going to do business, do it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like, even though there ain't no right way to do the wrong thing, but keep the kids you keep this out of your neighborhood. Like, you shouldn't, like they say, you shouldn't be shitting when you sleep.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you putting everybody in danger right there. And then if you are doing that, get enough money to the point where you could buy the damn property, do something with the money that's being more constructive. You know what I'm saying? And this is not me sympathizing with drug dealers, but I'm an individual that knows that people are going to do wrong in this world, been doing wrong since the very beginning.
Correct.
And I'm solution based, and this is the best thing. America was built off entrepreneurship and loopholes, and we know that. It's in the Constitution.
And people just doing wrong, you know what I'm saying? That's what
still in line and cheating.
Yeah, still in line and cheating. That's the whole thing. Like, what's some ways that y'all feel like that y'all have the police abuse their power when y'all got in a situation?
Well, that situation, I've been fortunate enough not to be so, sold up in that type of situation where the police had to abuse me. But the most recent situation that was real, it got real close to it. This was probably all of a year ago. My dog was down here, Zay, that's my best friend. And I rented a car for him, and he got pulled over for some reason. It was something very, very petty. And luckily, bro, I swear to you, bro, it was like I was 500 feet down the street at a restaurant, bro, chilling. And I was like, bro, I see you from where I'm at. Like, I was like, I'm walking outside. I was like, bro, that's you down there with the police? He's like, yeah, bro, they talking about you got to come get the police car. They going to, get the car. They going to tow it. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm right here. I'm finna come. So I pull up and I park the car. And I'm like, hey, what's up, officer? He like walk up. No, he ain't saying nothing. I'm like, okay, like, he might be one of them. So my thinking cap is on. Now I'm not in defensive mode, you know what I'm saying? But I'm on beat. So he get up there. He's like, you own this car? I was like, yeah, that's my car and this and that. And he was like, are you gonna get the car? Or are you gonna get the car towed? I was like, I'm gonna take the car because I want y'all to tow this rental car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then he was like, he started walking away, and then he said, because I could tow it. And I'm like, bro, I just literally told you I'm gonna take that car. So, long story short, we get up there. The dude started pumping his chest out at us, basically, when my friend was trying to get out the car. And I checked him right there in front of two of his people. Come to find out, bro, he training them people. So, we don't have problems like that in my city. So, he training them, basically trying to show them and condition them to the point of this is how aggressive you got to be towards people. And it was, like, really messed up because they sat there and I told them, like, I literally told him straight. I was like, dude, you are very tense right now. I feel your energy. I was like, you should not be this way. I was like, because this is how stuff pops off. I was like, but luckily enough, I got the brains to know how to de-escalate a situation and shut the hell up when I get the opportunity.
Right.
All right, but I will tell you two behind him, all right, you need to be checking your partner because you are connected to this person. And if you do not check it now, this is how bad police become bad police chiefs. And this is how bad freaking mayors, they become bad freaking politicians, and they become bad governors, then they become bad presidents because nobody ever checked district attorneys. Nobody never checked them at the local level, and y'all just like, oh, let it slide because of blah blah blah. He was tripping that day. No, some of them people been tripping their whole life, and you got to check it, and nobody ever checked them because they felt like, oh, they crazy or something. And it go both ways on our end too, because bro, that person, it's a bubble up there. You know what I'm saying? With some of them people, you gonna pop.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then it come to a situation where you have that type of police officer who have that mentality. Not all of them, like I'm saying, where they actually do shoot somebody, and you be like, "Damn, we seen that coming."
Correct.
How the hell you see it coming, but you never checked it?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what be happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to it. Like,
yeah.
I remember what this was like before. I had this situation happened, with a car situation. The man said I ran the red light over there on Blue Heron, but this happened in my past car. No. But but just saying that this happened on the past car that I had. The Chrysler I had. I ain't had no tents on. I was riding fishbowl. You know what I'm saying?
I love fishbowl.
And I got pulled up, so I ran the red light, and we over there on Blue Heron and military next to the VA. And I'm just in general. When he get to me, like, can you let down your window? I let down my window. He was like, can you let down the back window? And at that point, I'm saying, what's the purpose? I'm saying, this car ain't got no tents on it. You know what I'm saying? And some people, some people just in general, you know what I'm saying? That get to the point where, like, they want to make sure that everything, because they feel you as a person just because they're getting pulled over.
Yeah. Right.
And why he pull him a tag and everything. And the other officer, like, that night, they was walking, had two officers, and he a young boy. I forgot his name. He like 23. And he in the car or whatnot. I mean, he's right on the side of the car. He got the flashlight in my face. Right. And before he could picture who I am, it was like, damn, bro, I got you on Facebook. And at the same time, I'm saying, what's up with your man? You know what I'm saying? He put down the back window and everything.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, bro, it's crazy because, bro, you can see in the car and everything. I ain't hiding nothing.
Right.
But that situation went on and whatnot. And then I'm like, damn, bro, I feel like, I feel tried at that point because, bro, you got a black boy, you got a black officer in the car, but the head officer is Spanish, but I'm like, damn, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, get your man's right, fix that. Riviera Beach. It was Riviera Beach. And then the next incident happened. This was like a month ago, of course you got a new car, so I was getting gas at Wawa. You know what I'm saying? This on a Friday afternoon.
He foreign whipping y'all.
But look, this Friday afternoon, and I'm driving. I'm at Wawa, you got the music up a little loud, and of course, that attracts different things. Mm-hmm. So I leave Wawa, and he followed me all the way to my office, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's like a 5-minute drive from Wawa to my office. And then I get to the office, and at nighttime, I'm about to open the gate, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, what you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I got the key, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, let me see ID. I'm like, bro, what's the point of this? Like, what did I give you? You know what I'm saying? But this comes in the thing of, like, you know what I'm saying? You growing as a black person, you know what I'm saying? You got something nice, you know what I'm saying? And you got access to a place, and they ain't used to that. You know, because now that's why I said the status getting different. So it's the reaction between a lot of people is going to attract, the wrong energy and the correct energy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's when you come when they abusing their power. You know what I'm saying? They just want to find some, and they come to they got to meet certain quotas every month. I understand that. But
quotas is definitely something to be stated in this conversation because I know in my city personally, missed something I hit on earlier in the week. It's one story called Easy Mart. I've been trying to get rid of it. If I ever find a bulldozer, anybody got a bulldozer out there, y'all holla at your boy, all right? And it's privately contracted. All right. All right. I ain't gonna say what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna tell y'all this story. All right. So in 2018, bro, they had 52 arrested this store, bro.
Oh, for sure.
At the store?
At the store.
Oh, for sure.
You know that store's still open today?
Oh, no, definitely.
So I'm gonna pass it on to you, but I just wanted to let you know so that could simmer in the people's brain.
Bro, personally, I haven't I'll give you two incidents. Okay. First one, I'm coming out of racetrack. It's about 12. It's damn near 1 in the morning. Coming out of racetrack on 45th. He parked back then. He been there. He was there when I came, but he was there when I left. Soon as I passed him and hit Village, he flipped on them lights, came out.
Yeah, so he wanted.
Bro, I just went to the store for a little Gatorade and some chips.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry. It's late night. I just want a little snack. He come up to me. You know why I pulled you over? No, your tint's too dark.
See, that's where I get into a situation, yeah.
But they always say the tint's too dark, right? So you gotta follow it. Tint's too dark. Okay. License and registration. Give them a license and registration. They come back. All right, man, I'm gonna let you off with a warning this time. No, you just saying my tint's too dark. Yeah. Write me my ticket. Give me my ticket. The other time, I left out of Walgreens on 45th. Now this time I was wrong. I left out of Walgreens on 45th. I'm on Congress, right? in the turning lane, I want to make a U-turn. Light red as a bear.
You call us down. He
Light
called
red. Listen, light red. But it got the yield sign, right? So I tried one. I hit it. I ain't even see him. As soon as I turned, he flipped on the lights, bro. I didn't even see him. He pulled me over in the little plaza right there. Man, when I tell you, bro, no lie to you, it was me and Armani in the car and Tierra. When I tell you, no lie, it was about 5 more cops in 2 minutes. About 5 more cars pulled up. Ain't nobody even got out yet.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, this is my car. Everything legit. I'm like, what's going on?
Speaking of that, remember that happened to us in Orlando?
Bro,
You was in the car that day? Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what's going on, man? I just ran the red light, bro.
But, bro, I tell you.
I played it stupid, too. When he finally came up to the car, he was like, you know what you did? I was like, nah, what happened? What happened? It's like you ran that red light back there. I was like, oh, I thought the yield sign mean you could turn on red when the other light green. He was like, nah, man. So the other cops went on the other side. They got the flashlights. They looking in the car. He asked me for my license and registration. I was like, I gave him the registration and the insurance. I ain't have my wallet. I ain't have no license.
Lord.
I told him my name. He ain't even go to his car, bro. I tell you no lie. The man stood there. He talked to me just by dumb shit for like 2 minutes. He's like, all right, man, have a good day. Next time, don't run no red lights.
Yeah, see,
but see,
that's
with that story, that's how I was just
bro.
gonna go into this, bro. You know, cops like that are the ones that's trying to change some shit,
Exactly,
bro.
bro. Because you know what he did? It ain't that serious.
Bro, it ain't that serious, but the first thing he did, bro, is what you pointed out, bro. It was 5 more cops there. People take that as offense, but when it's 5 more cops, bro, that's security for them.
That's true.
So he felt secure. He had backup. So now, if you you know, good cop and whatnot, that's security for you. You gonna be good because you got security. But if you a bad cop, you still gonna be a bad cop with that security because now you feel like you got to show out.
That is true.
So you know what I'm saying? When you got that backup, that's why it's always important for them to have backup. And I know a lot of people get offended by that, but I'm like, bro, that's their security. I know. If I'm walking, I'm finna go somewhere where like you said, you went to Orlando. I'm taking my dogs with me. I'm not going no territory without them.
Nah, that situation we had, that's when we was dead broke. We was all in the car coming from the basketball court, and I ran that light. I think it was on Pine Hills. He came out of the car. It was like 6 of us.
Could never drive.
It was like 6 of us in the car. But yeah, let's get back on base. What do y'all like to end this? Like, what do y'all feel like is the cure to fixing the dialogue?
Bro, go ahead. You gonna take it off?
Nah,
go ahead, bro. It's been me the whole
honest,
time. Take off. We
To
want to
be honest, it's gonna start at one thing: education, and everything that you're doing, bro. I love what you're doing in the community, man. All the push that you're doing, the positive stuff that you're doing. You're trying to teach our culture about finances and ownership and things of that nature, and you lead them by example. And that's really where it started, bro. We have to break the condition that we have been trained that you need a 9 to 5 and you need to go to work and the school and the college.
We gotta say that one,
break
bro.
that. We gotta break that, and we gotta understand that we gotta be our own people and our own boss and get this money together. But we can't do it unless we educate, and that's what's happening, bro. You have so many. Look at the kids that's being born. When you think about it, and this is no offense to no one, but I must speak on it. When I go to fast food places and things like that, I'm seeing 16 and 17-year-olds working now, and it's the worst fucking customer service ever. It is the worst. Like, they got no manners. They got no awareness of how you should be on a job or servitude or anything like that. And that's because they're not being taught these things at home.
Correct.
And that's because of the system that has been put in place has done its job over time. Yes. Which is true. And we have gotten blind. We just been existing.
Correct.
Existing, bro.
We just been existing in this system, bro.
That's true. It starts at home. You know what I'm saying?
It started at home. We gotta educate our kids, man.
Cause like I just speak on it, like just in general. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we have to, the parents, one thing that we have to, you know, teach the kids that, you know, we are raising that or are raising in our neighborhoods, you know, is the process of the things that they have to do in life and about, you know, respect from a standpoint and understanding, like, you know, the process But we gotta understand that. I ain't gonna lie, our generation of our parents, we was only taught go to school, get an education, get a job.
Right.
That's the top thing that we was taught. So we don't.
And I just want to piggyback from the time that you come out your mama's stomach and or womb. You only know what you taught.
Correct.
Mm.
And
that's it.
And like just how they saying, mama taught you how to fight before right, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You taught those things. You taught defense as a young kid. You know what I'm saying? You're not taught respect as a young kid,
right?
Because before you like listen to words, you listen to action. You know what I'm saying? So you seeing all those fighting, all this and this and that. So you interpreting that. You got to interpret the defense as a young kid.
Conceptualizing it.
Conception, and you're not understanding life. So, but the generation before us, I admit that we wasn't taught business owners. We wasn't taught the support, the foundation of what it takes to get to the next step. We just taught to go to school, get an education.
But they wasn't taught that, bro.
They wasn't taught that as well, and understood. Yeah, they wasn't taught that as well.
We figured it out.
Yeah. Now, so we generations behind, which is true. We just got to learn more about education, and then just more about growth, and then the main thing is that we got to start small where we can start at, get the voice out, and reach out to, the other police officers, that aren't comfortable with coming in our neighborhoods, or they don't respect the neighborhoods or understand our backgrounds. And we got to, get a relationship with them first and foremost before we get to the main stage, because we can only control, guess what, who we reach out to.
Right.
Or, who we can connect to.
Right.
So that's the first few steps. But it starts at home, and then on our side, the elders, the OGs are the people that they look up to in the neighborhood, need to get the kids right and not lead them towards, you got to sell dope to make it or whatnot. But, teach them the game young, you know what I'm saying? Like, teach people the gun. Bro. Like, don't teach me the game when I done fucked up. Teach me the game while I'm young, before I mess up.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because, like I said, the system was put in place for us to fail. So it's gonna be tough. Everybody becomes a product of their environment. Mm-hmm. So
the areas that we grow up in, what I'm saying, it's unfavorable, situations.
You gotta do what you gotta do to eat.
Correct. So it's like you're in the trenches 24/7 when you grow up.
Right.
But for us, like now, where we at the standpoint, we need to teach the kids correctly. You know what I'm saying? Teach them how to be business owners. Teach them, how to save up. Don't be flashy while they're young. You know what I'm saying? All that hype and everything while you young, that fade away. It's the truth. Cause you know how people was made it before. They ain't got nothing now. You know what I'm saying?
Do.
And quit. It fades away. But the OGs got to do their part. You know what I'm saying? The moms and parents got to do their parts inside, and we just got to create a connection, because every officer ain't bad and every person ain't bad.
For sure, bro. And I was just gonna go back to what he's talking about, like home training type stuff. So a lot of the times, and this is something I'm gonna talk about in the future on the Black Agenda, but I'll just spew it out right now just a little bit with the home training. So our parents, bro, some of them, they gotta get correct, bro, because they don't realize that they're perpetuating and feeding the same system, because this is what we do. At 18, what your parents told you, everybody across the board.
Go to college.
Go to college.
What else?
Get a job.
You what? Get a job, and you what? Now you what?
Yeah,
you're a man.
You're a man and you grown, right?
Yeah.
So what that mean? Or get the fuck out of my house, right?
Basically.
Yeah. So you telling me you're gonna send your kids to a white public school system, you're gonna send your kids to a white job, and then complain about the white man.
That's true.
You feeding the same corporate system, bro, and you're gonna complain, and then you're gonna release your kids at 18 to this same system that's been creating this vicious cycle and this hell for your very community. When these babies at 18, you still a baby, you don't know nothing. And then now you're making up this stuff as you go along, and what you gonna rely on? What you've been told. You're gonna rely on traditionalism.
Exactly.
And this thing about traditionalism that's crazy, bro, is traditionalism is what's really killing the black community. I know we got the police, I know we got the GMO foods, I know we got all that, but traditionalism, like you said, you told me this when okay, now, when you 18, when your kid, you have a kid, get the fuck out of my house, you grown. If they even a little bit disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? And then you have this thing where we're not learning to do for self, because now you at work 8 hours a day, you got to go run around after that. Now you spending 3 hours with your kids a day, and that's 21 hours in a week. You only spend a whole day with your kids in 1 week. These people in the system have your kids more than them, so why you think they're not thinking like them?
Exactly.
Or acting how they see these kids acting? And then a lot of people, they keep saying this thing about generational curses, and I'm telling them this ain't no generational curses, bro. These are generational choices,
right,
bro, that
it's
we have to stop. It's the mindset,
Yeah.
and a lot of people have to get up out of that mindset because, bro, you can't keep handing your kids over to corporate on every single level and then expect some type of change to happen. It's not gonna work that way, bro. Yeah. Learn how to educate your kids, spend more time with your kids, and it's gonna start with, like you saying, not necessarily. I don't like to say own too much that I own something, but managing something. Because I say, control, own nothing but control everything. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm learning right now from, all my mentors.
If it's not finances or property or a business, like once I'm done and I don't want it no more, if I can't pass it down to you, or if I pass away and you can't get it, in reality, I failed you.
Yeah,
exactly,
that's
bro.
I failed you.
Know what I'm saying?
And even in the Bible, bro, and it don't matter what your faith is, you can read the damn book. But it says if you don't leave an inheritance, for your family, then you failed, bro.
Yeah. So like just to end it, you know what I'm saying? Teach the kids, you know what I'm saying, to own their stuff. Teach about education, but also just know this, you know what I'm saying. The school system not teaching our kids the best education.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? The most education comes from home, but home first. But what we're experiencing, even as men, that we learn more by going through the situation and fucking up.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
like credit.
Love
yourself.
But we learn more about fucking up. So let's stop that and let's educate the kids while they're young, so they don't fuck up, don't have to get in debt and everything else. And we just shift them in the correct way. But I mean, that's it.
Hey, and no matter whatever you took from this, don't forget this year, man, is so important. Everybody get out there and vote.
Yeah.
Vote. I don't care if you don't like Biden. I don't care if you don't like Trump. You got to understand somebody got to sit in that chair.
Exactly.
So you got to go vote.
Exactly. One thing is, even the people that don't want to vote, man, it's not, think about our ancestors that, done died for this, done put in a lot of work for this.
Right.
Just in general, our ancestors, they did a lot for this situation.
Right.
And, what I'm saying, even if you don't care about politics, go out there and sacrifice them 20 minutes to vote.
Please vote.
We got a generation coming up, and we got a generation that done put in a lot of work for us. So vote, you know what I'm saying? No more about ownership and management, and just get to the next level, man, and understand that, certain things happen in life, but you're trying to end this disconnection between us and the police in a positive way, and, be able to control your emotions throughout this time period.
And I just ended off, I guess, last with when you're talking about voting too, just be very conscious about what the government has done for us since we've been voting too. It ain't much that's changing, so don't think just because you vote it's gonna change the entire world. It's gonna make a difference, but don't think because you're going to go put that ballot in, the world gonna change tomorrow, and it's really not. So and don't secrete that information into your brain as F the government, this and that, F the police and whatnot.
It matter.
It matters.
You know what I'm saying? And then just make sure it's starting at home too, man. Just education from home first. And once we get home down pat, it ain't nothing that could shake these seeds that we bringing up, because they gonna have a sound mind and a sound foundation. You can't shake that, bro.
Right.
You cannot shake it.
That's it. All right, the legacy.